Yeah, so the key to making money, in my opinion, is staying out ahead of these curves. You get into this long season, and some of these situations are going to change. And we saw this a couple of 3 weeks ago with Philadelphia and Kansas City. And being out in front of those curves will help you get on the right side of some of these games. Right now, you have a couple of teams going the right way. One of them in particular is Tampa Bay, of all things. I mean, nobody is excited about this Tampa Bay team, but they're a team. I do believe there's something to the fact that Baker Mayfield is getting more comfortable, playing better under this current offense and defense with Tampa Bay. What he was with Cleveland was a whole bunch of offensive coordinators. He never really got set. I don't think they're going to be playing out here in Las Vegas in February, but they're definitely a team that we can get some value in over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Also, 6-1 against the spread, their last 7 on the road. Chicago's another team. You know, since they got sweat in the defensive pass rusher, they have been able to really keep points down. This team went from being a horrible defensive team earlier in the year. Then they've been playing really good defense. Their offense is getting better. Fields is looking a lot more competent. And so I would say there's some value going forward with Chicago as well.
And Moore, such a stud weapon.
Right? I mean, yeah, this is a team that they're evolving and they're getting better. And so you got to be able to recognize that as you're going through the year. Again, trying to stay out in front of these curves. After they win 3 or 4 in a row, it's a little late to make money.
Sure. Well, speaking of evolving, there seems to be some offenses that used to be pretty terrible that might finally be evolving, Tim.
We might call it attack of the dead offenses. I mean, really, dead offenses coming back to life all across the league last week. New England, they hadn't scored 3 touchdowns since what, September? They scored 3 touchdowns in the first half at Pittsburgh last week. Now, they didn't do anything in the second half. Might be a little bit fraudulent there, but a positive sign. New York hanging 30 on Houston. Zach Wilson, maybe the best game of his career, a 300-yard performance. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. New Orleans hung 28 on Carolina. Then again, that's another one you might want to take with a grain of salt. They gained only 4.0 yards per play, 207 total yards in that game. So they scored 28. Wasn't all the offense. Justin Fields. Jack was just talking about Chicago. Chicago's showing progress. Their highest scoring game since October. And let's not forget Monday night, what Tommy Cutlets did, and Tennessee as well, another struggling offensive team. The G-Men and Tennessee both finding ways to put the biscuit in the basket, scoring touchdowns Monday night. So dead offenses coming back to life.
Trying to figure out which of these we can pluck out and say that will continue, and which we don't want to overreact to the recency bias of what we've seen 1 or 2 weeks in a row.